Discretion is advised. Not suitable for work. You're listening to Propaganda Culture with your co-hosts in crime, Nick and Layla. Warning. If you're highly sensitive, overly emotional, or easily triggered, do us all a favor and quietly tune out. No need ruining the good time of others simply because you're a beta or a bitch.
Propaganda. Culture. Starting now.
Wow. Weird. Okay, so
Huh.
there's no sound.
Lost me
Okay, here we
today.
go. We're here. Okay. It's unmuted now.
Awesome.
I unmuted it,
Round
but I
two.
don't know why it didn't click over. Anyway, so yes, so we're here. It has been a while. It's been a minute. We're back. We're here for the end of year Psyop, which is so fun. I'm so excited.
Our favorite psyop.
Our favorite. So we're gonna do some delicious recaps. We're gonna talk about the whole debate. We're gonna touch on the debate with Vivek, the stunt queen. We're gonna talk about Thomas Massey, our guy in the Congress, like literally the only one. The only
The
one.
one guy. Literally.
It's just like okay. He's a terrible guy. He's so bad. Anyway, and we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about silent weapons for quiet wars because we got to get into it because none of this is new. None of this is like brand new. None of this is like, oh my god, this is so crazy. I can't believe they're doing it. This is like they've never mentioned any of this before.
Yeah,
They
wake
are like,
up.
I can't believe it. I can't imagine. Thanks you guys for coming into the stream. We're streaming on X. We got people on X. We got Rumble. We got YouTube. We're in here. We're in here. So thanks everybody. Okay. So what's been up with you? What's been going on? Have you been enjoying the psyops? Have they been good?
I've missed out on them for the most part. I've not been enjoying them. You could say
You
I've
haven't
been
been
enjoying not
participating?
not experiencing them.
Haven't you been complaining about your own personal genocide?
Well, I'm
You're
not
just
one to
like
I'm
so
not one
out
to
of
complain.
context.
I'm not one to complain.
My own personal genocide. No, so I've been like in Twitter Spaces heavy, and it's been really interesting because it's really good like ethnographic like research. It's really good like research and understand, okay, what are people talking about? What are they thinking? What are the narratives? Like how are people responding to things, in real
Mhm.
time? And it's been interesting. I've been in like so many different spaces, like so many different perspectives. I was in a foundational Black American space that was extremely eye-opening. Um
How so?
They okay, so the big thing on X is you're gonna have lots of different like governmental like intelligence agents in those spaces, like monitoring, interacting, feeding people stuff. And one of the spaces they had was like, how do Black people mimic Zionism? And sorry, I'm gonna open this like soda. And I was just like, bro, don't you think you should have like some type of literacy rate above 20%? Like, don't you think you should have like some type of industry on tap? And they were just like, no. I was like, okay, like, then do
How are they
you?
like
I don't know what to.
Zionists?
What?
What was the topic? How are they like
They're
Zionism?
Black. How do Black people make their own version of Zionism?
Yeah,
You
you were
can't
probably
make
pretty
this stuff
kind to them.
up.
No, you cannot make it up.
I was just like, I don't know how you're gonna pull that off, but okay. And then
Cross that bridge when you get there, guys.
I know. And then there was another space where they were talking about they were just basically like all these like Russian agents, and it's just like the craziest shit. And it's just, oh, and my favorite are the white trash white supremacists, where they're literally like trailer trash, and they're just like, we ain't trying to be like the coloreds. And it's like, dude, you're like literally white trash. But those are interesting too. And then and it's funny, I've noticed a pattern is that in both the like heavy identity politics places, they're always talking about they're going through a genocide, white or Black or whatever, Zionist, whatever. They're going through a genocide. They were like these mighty people and they're fallen now. They were kings. They're, trying to figure out how to get to it's just like identity politics is such a like mental, it's like a mindset where you're just constantly a victim while you're just berating and abusing others. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's victim over victor mentality. Like I would never ever allow myself to feel like a victim of any circumstance
No.
ever.
No.
But these people
It's
look for ways to feel that way.
No, yeah, it's really funny. So it's just been really interesting. I got some cool clips that I'm gonna do a stream of one day, but it's been hard getting online. This like end of year. I mean, how have you been holding up? End of year is always just like I want to hibernate hard.
Yeah. Here the weather's been cold, so I haven't been going out much if I can avoid it.
Yeah,
Hibernating
but
hard.
what have you been researching? Like now that it's the end of the year, what are you reading? Like what are you?
I just read a really good book called Cult Feminism: The Secret History of Women's Liberation by Rachel Wilson. Julius actually recommended it to me, and
Oh,
it's
nice.
really it's fascinating.
Mm. Philosophist says my sanity is being genocided. I don't know if that word is like allowed on YouTube, but whatever.
Sorry,
Uh,
YouTube. We didn't mean it.
I know, seriously. But okay, cool. So you've been reading about the gender war. Oh my God, there was this crazy clip I saw. I don't even have it. I know you and Julia should cover it on Age of Men. Shout out to Age of Men podcast. Every Sunday. But this chick is like a love machine, and she said she had been with like 10,000 men, and it was like insane. This like clip is insane. I'm like, whoa. She's like, I would shower after each one. It's like,
Oh,
bro, that's
how do you have time for all that? Like, what's the math add up to that? How many men would you have to be
someone
doing?
posted. It was like, I never, I didn't do any math because I don't want to, but they were like 35 men per week for 6 years.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it.
I don't know how that's possible.
That's like 5 a day.
Like,
But
you're just like, that's like,
but she showered after each one though, Layla. Don't worry about
dude. She said the tens of thousands.
it. Not even 10,000, tens of thousands. I lost track.
Yeah, she said she didn't want to keep track of it. Anyway, I'm gonna save that for you guys to watch to cover on Age of Men, and just it's not really
You
on
know us.
brand.
Well, maybe we got to get you on. It's been overdue since we've had you on as a guest. So maybe this week or next or whenever we can work that in. I know it's the
I
holidays, so that's probably the
know.
last thing you want to do.
I know, it's been forever. That show is so good every single time. Every single time.
Somebody said, "Dude, why do you have the camera looking up at you?" Because my computer's not cooperating, so I'm using my phone, which is like down here. I'm kind of tall. I can't really get it up here any higher. I tried to figure out a way. I hope it doesn't bother you too much.
Hero angle.
I hope it doesn't bother you too much. I bet body count is bad for both men and women. It's just gross. Simply says. What's up, everybody out there?
I know, right? So yeah, we got a problem. We got a problem. Yeah. So okay. So let's get into this Vivek clip. I'm gonna put it in here. End of year psyops. Let me just start by saying, Vivek, for my conspiracy theory, is that Vivek is a stand-in for VA Shiva. Definitely. And I feel like it's very suspicious to me that we have South Asian people running the UK, and now we have two candidates, Nikki Haley and Vivek, leading the way. And I just find it very suspicious. I think, like, I'm not saying anything specific about a race of people. I'm just saying I think whenever you're looking at something, you see a pattern. It's like all of a sudden, now is the time. Like, no matter what, we need to have a South Asian leader. Like, they're just like, you can choose this chick or you can choose Vivek. It's like, okay. I don't know. It just seems suspicious.
You're the first I've heard like bring that to mind, and it's definitely compelling. I guess the question from there is it just like that they are that like that good, that people, or is there some sort of agenda being worked?
They're very good. Obviously, they're very smart, very talented, and very prominent in business and, all areas of culture. It's just, it seems just such a weird coincidence that it's like they're all running the UK simultaneously right now.
And now it looks like maybe here too, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, this isn't their first year being in America. So it's like, okay. I don't know. It's just an interesting pattern.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a pattern.
Non-linear warfare requires infiltration instead of invasion. Yeah.
That's what they do. Yeah, they infiltrate.
So I don't know. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Things just happen. What's the big deal? Like, it just happened.
Well, I will say this. Vivek, he almost rubs me kind of like Obama did when he was first running. I didn't know much about politics, but I was like, this guy's too smooth. He's too rehearsed. I don't like it. And that's kind of the vibe I get with Vivek a little.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's because you're racist, but
Well, we know that. We all know that.
Okay, let's play this clip. Let me get this clip loaded up so we can see Vivek toast Mr. Oh, where is it? Where's the...
How you guys doing out there in the chat? Thanks for joining us.
Hold on. It's not playing. Hold on. It's not playing. Let me edit this for a second. But anyway, that's what I hate about like downloading internet files. It's like you always have to like reformat them. It's so stupid.
Yeah, you're smart to download them though.
Yeah, I try to download everything because it's gonna disappear. That's what
Yes.
I learned during C19, because the stuff
Hmm.
that they would drop would just be so over the top weird, and I would be like, "What? Is this for real?" And they would be like, "Yeah, it's for real." And then it would like disappear. Like,
That's happened to me so many times. I go back to show somebody something and it's not there, that I do the same thing. I just download it onto an external drive now. Because they're going to find it eventually. If there's anything that's good, they're going to get rid of it.
yeah. I know, they always do that. They always do that. They always get rid of like the good clips. I really recommend, like, if you find anything and you actually think it's valuable, definitely download it, because they will scrub the internet. Like, they'll just get rid of it. Like, what's the problem? Oh, that never happened. We never said that, you know? That's the
Yep.
whole mentality.
You're exactly right. They can erase history that way. And they do it often. So just screen record it, or better yet, you can get like a browser that lets you download it as a file. But yeah, do something like that, because there's a good chance it might not be there later if it's something worthwhile for you.
All right, here we go. Let's watch this.
She said that I have a woman problem. Nikki, I don't have a woman problem. You have a corruption problem. And I think that that's what people need to know. Nikki is corrupt. This is a woman who will send your kids to die so she can buy a bigger house. This is the problem. Using identity politics more effectively than Kamala Harris is a form of intellectual fraud. And it actually needs to end. There's our donor puppet masters wielding their puppet right up here tonight. This is how this game is played. The puppet masters put up their puppet, and I reject the use of identity politics in this party.
Ooh, he told her. Ooh, yes. Slay.
Why did you have it
Slay.
written down on a notebook or whatever? That's like the second time I've seen that this year. They're all pulling the same bullshit, trying to like get views.
Corruption. You're corrupt.
And I took the time to write it down ahead of time just so I could really drive my point home.
Yeah, it's just, and so many people are like, yeah, woo, yeah. It's like, how hard is it to lie to people? It's like, who cares?
It's the bread and circus, same old, same old. Keep them
That's the
distracted
thing.
with that.
Exactly. I'm always like, you could just be lying.
They always lie. That's what they do by default. They just say some shit and then you don't hold them to it, and then they don't do it.
Yeah. He could literally just be lying. It could be like WWE. She was standing there just like,
That's what it is. It's WWE, political WWE.
yeah, that's what it looks like to me. It's just like, at the end of the day, he was for lockdowns. He was for all that ish. Like, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. But okay.
Philosophers asked, is there any difference between national politics and professional wrestling? From where I'm sitting, I think the professional wrestling is a lot more compelling of a lie.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, why is it outside? And it's not that he's all like, everybody's lying. I'm like not super black pilled, but I kind of am right now. But it's like, what would make it so? What would be so impossible or outside of the realm of possibility that he is just lying and it's all scripted? Based on like the fact that they do neural networks and they do data and they come up with the perfect exact algorithm. Oh my god, I actually got a massage, like an agent, like a literal like agent, talking about that in one of the spaces.
Whoa.
It was crazy the way he was talking about things. We have to do the next episode. We need to like stream that and play that, because the way he was talking, you could tell he was an intelligence agent. He wasn't using like regular words. He was using like exact like language of what they do. So it was really insane. It was really insane.
I'm glad you
But
bring that up, because that's what we get into in Silent Wars, kind of.
yeah,
Using
so I
computers.
don't understand what's so difficult about just being like, oh yeah, actually they're just lying. Like, yeah, they're just lying. And it's not that I'm guaranteeing they are. It's just, why could they not be lying? It's literally all you have to do is stand there and say something.
I think it's a good rule of thumb. Like, as a par for the course. Just assume until proven otherwise that a politician is lying to you, just for your own well-being and safety. Come at like a cynical perspective, but they can do that, and they will do that if you don't hold them to a standard of proving themselves to be telling the truth.
Exactly. And what are you going to do if they are? Nothing.
Right.
Literally
They have no
nothing.
consequences.
No consequences whatsoever. You can't the masses of people can't control their eating habits, let alone control what people do. Like,
Yeah, they can't even hold themselves to those kind of standards. They're not going to go hold a politician to it.
yeah. So I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's just me being paranoid. I guess I'm just paranoid. I guess I'm just blackpilled. I guess I'm just not. Because like when what's his name, Malay or whoever won in Argentina. You don't know the guy? Okay.
You know better than
Anyway.
me.
Okay. 1 second. Let me get a straw.
Yeah. And I think to myself, what a wonderful psyop. I see psyops of white.
The psyops of life. It's
Psyops after psyops. For me and you.
ringing in the psyops. It's a new year of psyops.
Yeah, nice. Here comes psyop. Here comes. As a WWE fan, they sound more realistic than these politicians nowadays.
Yeah.
Exactly, Zareth. Simply said, at least professional wrestlers are getting physical exercise. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I'm just sort of like, what's stopping them? Nothing. So, since there's nothing stopping them, it's reasonable to think perhaps they are, in fact, lying. I don't know. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. Big Debbie Downer.
Well,
Debbie Downer.
their big money interests would have them lying just to get elected. That's what I would tell them if I was giving them all the money. I would say, look, we know like political opinion, popular culture isn't going to be cool with this. So just say the opposite. Or
Literally. just just say no. Just lie. Just
just
lie.
lie to these motherfuckers and get your office, get in there, get elected, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, you can't say that and get in.
And I don't know what the whole need for making it seem like you have people on your side. I don't know what that is, like why it's necessary. Maybe it's part of the psychic energy control mechanism, but they definitely need people to play along still until I
Yeah.
guess they brain chip us.
Oh, for sure. They have to have the slaves thinking that they had a say in who their leaders are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they still need that. But yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Let the slaves think they picked their master.
Yeah, exactly. So we're here, and the other thing that I think is really interesting is they just passed a bill. Forgot the name of the bill. It's like 84 something or the number, where it's like basically anti, like not supporting Israel or Zionism or something is like anti-Semitism. And you know they have those like laws in like 37 states, like you can't boycott the state of Israel.
Yeah.
Weird. But okay. And Thomas Massey and I think one other, I don't know if she can vote anymore. What they like they just taser her as soon as she walked through the door. But he was the only one who voted against it out of all of them, every single last one of them.
That should tell you something when they can manage to get a bipartisan across the aisle unilateral vote for another country besides ours. When's the last time they managed to work together like that for us, people?
Yeah, it's just, it seems suspicious. Like, how
Bullshit.
can they come together so well?
Bullshit. Unacceptable.
Yeah, here he is. He's on here. Sassy with Massey, political science denier. Um, and he's got the U.S. representative. Okay, he's in Kentucky. I think I saw him speak at the what was it? It was Ron Paul had this like anti-mask conference in Washington D.C. Um, and I went there, and I think yeah, I'm pretty sure he was doing a talk, and he was just like talking about dealing with all the BS in Washington. I was like,
He's a
props, my
real one, it
man.
sounds like.
Yeah, I definitely think that was him. I have to look it up. But yeah, he posted this, which is like, what? I'm just like,
There it is.
I just like, it's so weird. And he posted this, and he's like,
He's got
how
some
is this?
nuts.
How is this what we need to come together for? Oh, because of money. That's why.
It's just crazy. That's the only thing that they can be bothered to somehow figure out a way to work together on.
I know.
Not
Yeah.
us.
Everything's about money. Everything's about who has the money, who has the time and the energy to advocate for things, who is going to speak up when they don't get what they want, you know?
But they make it out like it's a two-party system. Like somehow they're like not the same thing. But it's moments like these that reveals they all have the same interests.
Yeah. It's all the same. Because they can't find the time to like deal with the J6 people. They can't find the time to deal with the border invasion. They can't find the time or the energy. Oh my God. And there was literally one Twitter space where I was listening to this Republican lady talk about how, oh my God, it was so good. It was with Jackson Hinkle and these other like Russian agents. And they were like taking down all of these people debating them basically in this big space. And this one Republican lady comes up, and and Jackson Hinkle, he's like a prominent sort of Republican. He's a MAGA communist, and he is really good at what he does. I mean, I'm pretty like sure he works for Russia. Like, I mean, he doesn't just go there on vacation. But yeah, who knows? But he was just talking about I'd rather American tax dollars just literally rot away in a vault somewhere than be sent overseas. And she was like, and he was like, there's nothing else that you can do with American tax dollars, like in homelessness. And she was like, there's just no taste for that.
Well, I'm glad she said the quiet parts out loud.
I know, it was really amazing. I was like, wow, she's bold. She's just gonna say that we don't care about these poor people. Like, screw them. They
I
can
I I,
just
I mildly respect that. At least you're being real with your
mildly,
freaking awfulness.
mildly respect it. Yeah. So, there's no taste for it. There's no, I mean, once you get the grants, like, once you get the grant money, like, who wants to solve the problem?
Yeah.
I don't need to. I don't need to. Like, we don't
What
care.
problem? What problem?
But yeah, we have a big problem on our hands, and the American people are not going to care. They're just gonna clap. The Vivek is calling out Nikki Haley. Oh my God, he's calling her out. He's so based.
That's the reality show right there. They just give them a reality show.
I know. I'd rather watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians
Yeah.
at this point. Literally, I'm just like, I'd rather watch that.
It's a
But
shit
here
show.
we go. But this is what we got. This is what we got. Um, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know how people are gonna move forward with this, but I know that I need a cult.
I started one, Common Sense Cult.
Yeah,
The only cult in the world we insist you bring your own Kool-Aid. Gotta
exactly.
think for yourself over here.
No, don't do that. Don't think for yourself.
Well, Layla will tell you what to think.
Blame everyone.
She's our lead propagandist.
Blame everyone. Okay. So, So let's get into, I don't know what we're gonna do, but whatever. Cult. Everybody start a cult. If you don't have your own cult, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
Come on in, the water's fine.
Yeah. So let's get into this. It's the end of year Psyops. And we need to get into this silent weapons for quiet wars. I know that it's lame, and all of this is just like this. What's going on is like new. This is like new. This has never been ever before. It's unprecedented. There's no way to tell. You're just laughing. You're just like,
Like
isn't
the,
it?
I'm sorry. It's something else. I'll tell you that. It's something that's been going on a long time, and people have been
No,
trying to
it's
warn about.
not. This is
It's brand new.
totally new. No one could have foreseen any of this.
It's brand new. Yes, ma'am.
It's like, none of this is scripted. Do you
No,
think this is like someone? Oh my God. Do you think someone just like thought of all of this stuff?
they certainly didn't plan it all and
They didn't plan.
document it.
You think C19 was planned? Oh my. Oh,
Not going there. We're still on YouTube.
I'm not going. Then we go like the screen cuts out.
I am not with her, YouTube.
We don't believe in conspiracy theories. We know
No.
this is totally random
Yeah,
chaos.
no. Just nothing that can be explained. Well,
You
after you
can't
read,
plan things out like this.
after they read these documents tonight from 1979, I think it goes to make our case even further. It sums up the world we're in now, and all the other unexplained stuff that otherwise is like, yeah, unexplainable.
Yeah, this is unexplainable. This is just like totally random what we're living through. And
Yeah.
if you think that this is a conspiracy, then oh my God,
What a loser.
what a loser. Jeez.
We can't help you.
I don't know what to tell you.
Certainly don't come and watch a propaganda culture every week to
Don't
get your
watch
fix of that.
don't watch the mixtapes. Don't watch any of that. That's like none of that is real. Okay. So in the Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, which is just a random book, you give the context. Come on.
A random work of fiction. Well, here I could read it just to give the intro because they get it better than
read the intro.
that says, all right, welcome aboard. This publication marks the 25th anniversary of the Third World War, called the, quote, Quiet War, being conducted using subjective biological warfare fought with, quote, silent weapons. This book contains an introductory description of this war, its strategies, and its weaponry. It is patently impossible to discuss social engineering or the automation of a society, i.e., the engineering of social automation systems, on a national or worldwide scale without implying extensive objectives of social control and destruction of human life, i.e., slavery and genocide. This manual is in itself an analog declaration of intent. Such a writing must be secured from public scrutiny. Otherwise, it might be recognized as a technically formal declaration of domestic war. Furthermore, whenever any person or group of persons is in a position of great power and without full knowledge and consent of the public, uses such knowledge and methodologies for economic conquest, it must be understood that a state of domestic warfare exists between said person or group of persons and the public. The solution of today's problems require an approach which is ruthlessly candid, with no agonizing over religious, moral, or cultural values. You have qualified for this project because of your ability to look at human society with cold objectivity, and yet analyze and discuss your observations and conclusions with others of similar intellectual capacity without the loss of discretion or humility. Such virtues are exercised in your own best interest. Do not deviate from them.
We're here.
So that's the leaked document that was found in a Xerox copier machine at a third-party sale. Somebody bought the Xerox copier, and this document that's dated 1979 comes out, silent weapons for quiet wars, claiming that this is the 25th anniversary of the Third World War, meaning that it began in 1954. And that actually could add up. That could corroborate the fact that the Bilderberg meeting happened for the first time in 1954. Just saying.
I don't know. That sounds pretty gay.
The gayest.
Don't give me YouTube. Gay like and happy.
Right.
Yeah. So we're here. I'm gonna put the link in the description for this as well.
Good call.
But if you just look at the Internet Archive, if you look up Internet Archive Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, you can find it. But yeah, so this is like a really interesting book, manual, whatever you want to call it, on how to what?
Take over society, take over the world by means of biological warfare and other kind of manipulative methods that they're going to on a grand scale, using high-speed computers to type in our data in ways that they can literally predict the best ways to bring us to capitulation.
So
as they
basically
say.
wargaming everything with AI.
Yeah, it's like
and neural
Psyops,
networks.
wargame, AI.
Yeah. That was the thing about C-19 that was so obvious. They were like, they wargamed the shit out of it.
Dude, Bill Gates and them threw a war game for it before that.
I
Like
know.
a
And
worldwide
like
virus, like months
recorded
before
it.
that, the same exact situation. So it was a war game on top of a war game. But yeah, they basically get into the fact that like silent weapons are a way to use data and high-speed computers. And once the technology was there, they could use data in the same way that you would use a weapon, and you still has the same damage and impact on everybody. But the difference is it's a silent weapon that nobody's aware was used on them.
Yeah, and you can analyze and predict everyone's actions, reactions, and just strategize for all of it. So you're constantly in control. There's no randomness. You can like move everything along. Because people think that their reaction is something that's not calculated into the equation. They think that them reacting in a certain way isn't like anticipated, because this is a big thing. When I'm doing my rebrand for Propaganda Fluent, I really want to focus now on like mindset, because the mindset of a propagandist or a social engineer or someone running a quiet war is totally completely different from a regular person. A regular person thinks in terms of what they will do, how they'll approach things, how they feel about things. They don't take into consideration really how the other person will react in terms of how do I use it to my advantage. You know?
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
don't think like that. But
No, not at all.
yeah, in their mindset, they use all this data, and you can see it with like all these platforms. They're just constantly heavily data mining everything.
Yeah, what we dropped on here a week or two ago, that DARPA LifeLog program is Facebook.
Wait, what?
DARPA LifeLog, the same day this program LifeLog ended officially is the same day Facebook officially launched. And
That's like such a conspiracy theory. Stop. That's
people
not
could
real.
go look into it right now.
No. That's not real.
I came
Like
across this early on.
Facebook is just a place for people to play Farmville.
Yeah. They're not mining your data, selling it to God knows who for God knows what purposes.
No, that's not how.
But they're mapping us too, even crazier. They're mapping us in ways we don't even know ourselves, and using it to use predictive, like whether it's to sell to you or to get you to do certain things.
Are you talking about predictive programming?
Yeah.
You sound like a conspiracy theorist.
Let me get my tinfoil hat.
Oh, here's one. The quality of the education given to the lower classes must be of the most poorest sort, so that the most of the ignorant isolation of the inferior class. It's kind of a little bit hard to read. Let me zoom in. Okay. The quality of education given to the lower classes must be of the poorest sort, so that the meat of the ignorance isolating The inferior classes from the superior classes is and remains incomprehensible to the inferior classes. Oh, so that the way they're so they don't see that they're actually inferior or behaving in an inferior way. So
Right.
basically keep them in ignorance. With such an initial handicap, even bright lower class individuals have little, if any, hope of extraditing themselves from their assigned lot in life. This form of slavery is essential to maintaining some measure of social order, peace, and tranquility for the ruling upper class. No, I totally agree. The poorer class doesn't even begin to conceptualize that they behave and think differently from, the leader class.
And we need to keep it that way. It's like the movie Ants. You ever see that where he's
Yeah.
the grasshopper has like he starts to be a kid and he's like, of course this isn't about them getting food. It's about keeping them busy. If these ants ever got wise to the fact that they outnumber us 100 to 1, they could revolt. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah. No, it is just like that.
A slave that realizes it's a slave is not a worthwhile investment.
It is. It's not. And then they say in the descriptive introduction of the silent weapon, everything that is expected from an ordinary weapon is expected from a silent weapon by its creators, but only in its own manner of functioning. It shoots situations instead of bullets, propels data processing instead of chemical reactions originating from bits of data. So basically, it uses data to run up and simulate and create things. Instead of a
Yeah,
gun operated by from a computer, instead of a gun operated by a computer program, instead of a marksman under the orders of a banking magnate instead of a
there,
military
there
general.
you go.
Okay. Jeez, this book is like this copy is like really run down. I need to get the like high definition copy.
Yeah, I got some. Maybe I could send it to you over here.
That's crazy. The public cannot comprehend this weapon and therefore cannot believe that they are being attacked and subdued by a weapon. Yeah, and Yuri Bezmenov talks about that is that they think of everything. It has to be a bomb. It has to be like blowing people up. It has to be like the classic idea of war and combat. It can't be a well-timed, commercial or TV show or anything like that. It can't be a political debate. It can't be it can't be any of that. It can't be any of that. It's just like that's not warfare. That's just people talking. That's people
Right.
debating.
It's so
Okay.
ridiculous that most of the public won't ever buy that, and that's why the sophisticated guys that are waging war all go to that level.
I know. I did a poll where I was asking people about whether or not they thought what they needed, from propaganda and understanding propaganda, and like 50% of the people answering said they're immune to propaganda. I was like, all right, bet. That's awesome.
Unreal. They're hopelessly lost causes to propaganda, I would guess, sooner
Yeah.
than being immune.
The public might instinctively feel that something is wrong, but because of the technical nature of the silent weapon, they cannot express their feeling in a rational way or handle the problem with intelligence. Therefore, they do not know how to cry for help and do not know how to associate with others to defend themselves against it. Yeah. The people have no idea of how to defend themselves against silent weapons at all. Psyops, nothing.
They don't even know they're being attacked.
Yeah. By the time they realize they're being attacked, it's like late stage,
Way too
late
late.
stage.
Way too late.
Yeah, most people realize C19 after it was like over. It's like, bro,
Mhm.
like you're just getting it now. When a silent weapon is applied gradually to the public adapts to its presence, and learns to tolerate its encroachment on their lives until the pressure, psychological via economic, becomes too great and they crack up. Therefore, the silent weapon is a type of biological warfare. It attacks the vitality, options, and nobility of the individuals of a society by knowing, understanding, manipulating, and attacking their sources of natural and social energy and their physical, mental, and emotional strength and weakness. That's so good.
There it is.
It's so good. I need to like screenshot.
Yeah, feel free to keep going with that part because it's all bombs. And then I could pull just like one little excerpt that's worth reading.
I know. That's like really, really good. It's been a long time since I read this. I'm going to put that on the screen so that people can like see what page that's from.
Cool.
Because that's a really good point. Because
Yeah,
they
that's
don't
what they
really
did.
know. They don't really know how to respond to it or what's happening or how to communicate that. That's a big thing, and that's what I want to try to write about more is how to respond to these things and like communicate these things to other people so that at least they can say, "Hey, something's wrong. Something feels off. Like maybe this isn't right. Like maybe this isn't natural. Like maybe we should question this." But
That's
and this is on like page 5 of the Internet Archive doc.
mm,
What is it? Which section is it? Descriptive introduction of the silent weapon. That's what this is from. So I love
and
how psyops are just these gradual things that take hold over time. Like literally boiling the frog. You
that's
know?
the way to do it. Yeah,
And then
that's
they're
the
like,
only way to do it.
yeah, and their only response is like if you try to bring it up too early, where it's still too early and it's still too subtle, they call you conspiracy theorists. They say you're crazy. They say you're just not making any sense. They're not doing like pattern recognition to see okay, something's off. You know, people aren't constantly scanning their environment to see okay, is something off, like what's going on. And so if you bring it up early on, they're just going to respond like, "Huh?" You know?
Yeah, worse than that, they might even become like Agent Smith in the Matrix and fight to uphold the Matrix.
Exactly. Exactly. They'll fight with you against it. They'll say, no, that's not happening. That's not real. That's not happening. And I guess it's because they assume that if they don't find it to be a problem because they inside can't conceptualize what the motivating factors are, this like whole process is, they just assume no one else is doing it. No one else could possibly be trying to manipulate. There's no such thing as a silent weapon. Like, and that's
Ultimately,
just,
they don't want to know.
yeah, they don't. That's true. They don't want to know. And it's like a totally, it takes them out of their comfort zone.
Yeah,
And that's the mindset thing again, because it takes a different mindset to want to pull something like this off and do something like this.
yeah, they're comfortable slaves.
Was there any other point that you wanted to read from?
Yeah, just this one last one. We can maybe leave this as like a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And you guys tell us throughout the week or whatever if this is like interesting information. If not, we'll cover some other propaganda. There's plenty of propaganda to be covered. But you let us know if you like this. So this part says in 1954, this was the issue of primary concern. Although the so-called moral issues were raised in view of the law of natural selection, it was agreed that a nation or world of people who will not use their intelligence are no better than animals who do not have intelligence. Such people are beasts of burden and stakes on the table by choice and consent. Consequently, in the interest of future world order, peace, and tranquility, it was decided to privately wage a quiet war against the American public with an ultimate objective of permanently shifting the natural and social energy of the undisciplined and irresponsible many into the hands of the self-disciplined, responsible, and worthy few. In order to implement this objective, it was necessary to create, secure, and apply new weapons, which, as it turned out, were a class of weapons so subtle and sophisticated in their principle of operation and public appearance as to earn them for themselves the name silent weapons.
I love it. Yeah, we need to go into this. We need to definitely go into this more and go through this and like yeah, we need to get this together because I feel like there's nobody publishing this on a mass scale. This document, and thanks again for bringing this up. This is why I think it's so good that we collaborate because you like really make sure to bring out like really interesting context that I think is easily translated to regular people. Because if you break this down into little sections, you can actually get this, like, it makes sense, you know?
It's hard to deny at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it definitely makes sense. Um, and they say it in a very direct way, which not a lot of this, there's not a lot of material that says it in such a direct way.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, we need to break this down and have the full clip. I don't know. We need to finish the mixtape next week.
Okay.
We need to do that. And I know it's been a minute, but we definitely need to do next week. I think we're going to switch to Wednesdays from now on, right?
Yeah, yeah. If that's all right with you guys.
Yeah, we'll switch to Wednesdays. And we should do the mixtape next week. And we can do like this as well, like start doing the chapters, like break it down and see if we can find anything. I don't know. It's hard to relate it to society, like current psyops running, because it's like when the psyops running, it's so hard and people are so triggered that they like can't reflect and it just gets them angry and emotional. So it's like it's kind of a waste of time to try to call out the psyop while it's running. You have to sort of wait till it's like dialed down a little bit.
Yeah, like Ukraine instead of Israel or something. You know.
Yeah. That one was interesting.
It's past enough. I mean, maybe they don't. They won't be so offended. Don't tell me I'm in the middle of a psyop.
I know. Don't. This is my genocide. It's my own private genocide.
That's not psyop etiquette. Don't tell me till after.
My own private. Everybody's an emo. It's my own private genocide. Like, okay. So yeah, next week we should get to the silent weapon or the mixtapes again and
Yes.
like go through it. But yeah, it's good we can get this going so we can get back on track. There's not enough. I mean, it's the end of year psyops, so this is a multi-part special.
The most wonderful psyop of the year.
I know it's like Christmas psyops. Okay, so yeah, let's get on here next week, Wednesday, and we'll get back to it, and we'll get back to the mixtapes. I mean, every time it's like I want to re-listen to the first and second one again. It's like they're so dense and so mind-blowing, you know, in
Yeah,
terms
for
of
sure.
yeah.
Maybe when we get it through the first time around, we'll start to consider listening
You know,
back.
that one needs sort of a presentation too because it sort of needs like pieces like snatched out and like the text like transcript so you can like see and read it. I feel like too because when he's
Great idea.
talking, his accent and everything, and it's so dense, like you miss like key parts. Like he just said that, you know.
You're right. We should go back and
Um,
highlight them and stuff and make little clips
yeah.
of it.
I need to work on that. Okay, so we'll do the next mixtape next time. And thanks everybody for joining. It's been so long, but we got a lot of people in here watching.
Thank you guys. We appreciate you as always.
All right, I'll see you guys next week, next Wednesday.
Same bat time, same bat location.
All right.